Hey guys, today we step into a bustling corner of downtown Bangkok. Hot air rising off the pavement, the buzz of scooters weaving through narrow streets, and the distant hum of vendors calling out in sing-song tones. You're dressed sharp today in that perfect blend of wealth and minimalism. Black slacks, ivory linen shirt, and those loafers that cost more than most people's rent. You walk fast, always with a destination, always ahead of your calendar. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, before we begin, drop your city and local time in the comments. Let's see how far this little story travels. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. It starts on Tuesday. The kind of Tuesday that feels like Monday 2.0. Endless meetings, passive aggressive Slack messages, and espresso shots that stopped working 3 years ago. You're late, rushing across that familiar crosswalk when a figure blocks your path. He's seated on the pavement, barefoot, with a wiry frame and a scruff that suggests shower is more memory than habit. But it's not his appearance that stops you. It's the way he's looking at you. Like he knows you. Not you, as in your LinkedIn bio, but some older Bob Messier version who spent years to meet. He doesn't stretch out a hand. He doesn't hold a cup. Instead, he smiles, quickly to you, and says, "Why are you still carrying?" Slowly, as if it's not really a question. Here, why are you still carrying? From off one part, like they're trying to pay your way out. Shakes his head. Money's not heavy. What's in your chest? Just like that. Like chicken. Warms the leg. Half expecting to take it. Right. But no camera. Just you touching the stuff. Suddenly. It's funny. You try to shake it off. What's in your spot? That night, smoking, stops. Taking why are you still carrying? Don't sleep. The next morning, jog past that same intersection. He's not there. Just an empty pocket cup like a placeholder. You ask the flower vendor. She shrugs. That he talks strange. Some days he's here, some days gone, like a ghost. And try to bury it beneath new watches, old wine, and that online course on how to think like a billionaire. But the season's planted. And now, the questions you used to dodge are standing at your mental door. Not like, why hadn't you spoken to your brother in 6 weeks? Or why did you walk out on her without explaining? Or maybe the meaning really digs in. You even like yourself. Or maybe your assistant notices something wrong. Look, hey, she asked carefully. You didn't correct me last week. Laughed too loud. Must be good song. Unraveled. And it does. Into bullshit. Someone was staring at her. Captured. So fire. Within hours of your life, like Belgium, hey, hot dog. Never figured out how to lay a single brick down. And somewhere deep inside, where you keep memories wrapped in sarcasm and shoved under ambition, a truth begins to unspool itself. It whispers, maybe the only thing you've ever needed is to let go. You try to ignore it at first. Throw yourself deeper into the machine. Mornings packed with strategy sessions, afternoons drowning in numbers. Your phone becomes an appendage. Your voice, just another command in a world that only listens when you're buying or firing. But something inside refuses to shut up because now you're watching people differently. That intern fumbling her iced coffee, she reminds you of your niece. The janitor whistling in the hallway, his tune sounds suspiciously like your father's old radio. Even your reflection has changed. Not aged exactly, but softened, like someone peeled a layer off and exposed the pulp beneath the polish. Then comes the dinner with clients. You're in a rooftop restaurant, 30 floors above the world, surrounded by glass, gold accents, and people pretending to love foie gras. Someone cracks a joke about street beggars. You laugh, because that's what's expected, but it feels like gravel in your mouth. And that's when it hits you. You're not laughing because you agree. You're laughing because you used to be one of them. Not poor, not in the street, but desperate, just in better shoes. You excuse yourself, say it's a migraine. Maybe it is. On your way down the elevator, you catch your own eye in the mirrored panel. And that same question echoes. Why are you still carrying it? What even is it? At first you think guilt, then shame, then everything you've done, said, buried, forgotten. You start walking at night, no destination, just letting your shoes decide. There's a certain kind of freedom in moving with no goal, no shares to buy, no reputation to uphold, just pavement and passing lights and an old man's voice in your memory. One night, you walked past the same alley where he once sat. Nothing, just a vending machine blinking its lonely, sugary wares. You sigh, check your watch, and start to turn away, when a rustle behind you makes you pause. It's not him. It's a young girl, probably 10, dirty nails, tangled hair. She's hugging a stray cat like it's her whole world. Her eyes meet yours, huge, unblinking. You crouch down. Try your softest voice. Are you okay? She doesn't speak, just reaches into her shirt pocket and pulls out a crumpled note. You unfold it. It reads, "If you see my papa, tell him I'm still waiting." You freeze, because on the back, jagged handwriting, are the same words he said to me. Why are you still carrying me? Chills race across your skin. You look up, but she's gone. Vanished between blinks. No one believes you when you tell her. Probably a stress gene, the therapist says, or unresolved trauma from childhood. You resist the urge to tell her that trauma sounds like a word people use to intellectualize pain. Social media gets weird. A random photo surfaces of you, this time kneeling on the sidewalk, talking to a girl who isn't in the frame. The internet does what it always does. They zoom in, speculate. Some say it's a ghost, some say it's AI. Someone adds angel wings to your back and captions it, "When a billionaire finally meets his karma." You laugh, and this time it feels real. Not because the internet is right, but because you finally don't care what it says. Authors still debate whether spiritual encounters are manifestations of guilt or signs from the universe. Either way, it's enough to make you slow down. You start talking to people. Really talking. The old woman who sells jasmine garlands by the train station? She tells you she used to be a dancer before the accident. The Grab driver who's always early? Turns out he writes poetry no one reads. You post one of his verses online. It gets 10,000 likes in 2 hours. The irony doesn't escape you. You, once so obsessed with followers, now using your platform to highlight people who don't even own smartphones. Some nights you still cry. It surprises you. Those sudden waves of grief for things you never knew. Lost friendships, apologies you never gave. Moments you bulldozed in pursuit of a number in a bank account. And in those moments, you feel light. Like something's leaving you. Like the weight in your chest is slowly repacking its bags and preparing for departure. You don't talk about it publicly. Not yet. Not until it feels real. Until it stops feeling like performance and starts feeling like you. But the beggar's voice is question, becomes your mantra. Not in some dramatic monastic way, but softly, gently, like a whisper behind your thoughts when you start spiraling. Why are you still carrying? It keeps you grounded when you're tempted to post another filtered victim. It keeps you present when your mind drifts for deals and deadlines. It even shows up in dreams, sometimes as a parent, sometimes as your high school gym teacher. The brain is weird. And then one morning, you wake up, make your usual call, and realize you feel light, not float away, but just not heavy. You stand in front of the mirror, waiting for the usual dread to tighten your chest, but it doesn't come. Instead, you remember that cat, that girl, that note, and without planning it, without even dressing fancy, you head out the door. You don't even tell your driver. You just start walking, back to the same part of the city you've avoided, then gravitated toward, and now feel inexplicably drawn to. It's strange how the most chaotic places can start to feel like home when your insides match the outside noise. It's early. The city hasn't quite woken up. The sidewalks are littered with yesterday. A plastic bag tumbles like a lost thought, and then there he is. Same spot, same posture, same eyes. But he looks different now. Not cleaner, not healthier, just quieter. Like someone who's been sitting with the truth longer than the rest of us have even realized we're lying. He sees you, smiles. You don't speak right away. You just sit beside him. No gestures, no agenda. And for a long time, there's nothing but city sound, pigeons cooing, a distant train, a street vendor setting up. Then quietly he says, "You found it, huh?" You nod. "I think so." He doesn't ask what it is, because you both know it's not one thing. It's many. Regret, resentment, expectations, control, shame, all the stuff you've been dragging like invisible luggage. "So," he says, "what are you going to do with your hands now that they're empty?" You blink. "I don't know." "Good," he says, grinning. "Means you're ready to learn." He pulls something from his sack, a small carved wooden box, offers it to you. Inside is nothing, and that's the point. You laugh, a full laugh, from the stomach, not the wallet. "Still weird as ever," you say. "Still rich as ever," he replies. "Money?" "Nope." And just like that, he gets up and walks away. No dramatic exit. Just a man who gave you an invisible key and decided you could figure out the lock yourself. You hold that box the whole walk home. It's ridiculous. It's priceless. Authors still debate whether clarity comes in lightning strikes or soft dawns. Your guess? It's both. But mostly, it's in the decision to stop pretending you're okay when you're not. You return to work, but you're different. You listen more, talk less. You delegate. You forgive people for being imperfect because you finally forgave yourself. And in the smallest shift of all, you start leaving your phone face down. Eventually, you speak about it in a podcast episode that unexpectedly hits 1 million plays. You call it the box that weighed nothing. You don't mention the beggar by name. You don't claim transformation. You just tell the truth. It's the most shared thing you've ever posted. Some call it fake. Some call it genius marketing. One guy writes, "This is why billionaires shouldn't have emotions. Go cry into your money." You laugh because it doesn't hurt it. That night, you dream again. You're on a boat, middle of nowhere, and that box is floating beside you, open, catching moon. You reach in and find your own face smiling. The next morning, your housekeeper finds a note on your desk. "Gone walking. Don't worry. Just letting go again." And you are. Letting go of the need to win every argument. Letting go of the fear that if you slow down, everything will collapse. Letting go of the version of yourself that was always performing. And in that space, there's peace, not perfection, not constant joy, just peace. The kind that hums quietly in your chest like a song you forgot you loved. You still miss the beggar sometimes. Still look for him when you pass that street. He's never there, but his voice is. And so you carry that with you, not like a weight, but like a compass. So now, as your eyelids grow heavier and the night deepens around you, let this story sink in, not as a command, not even as advice, but as a gentle nudge. A reminder that sometimes the most powerful things in life weigh nothing at all. That what we hold on to, grudges, expectations, the desperate urge to always be on, those are the things that tire our souls, not the tasks or the noise. And maybe tonight, just for a moment, you can put something down too. Maybe it's a memory, a voice that wasn't kind, a pressure you never questioned. Maybe it's simply the idea that you always have to be strong. Breathe in, let it rise. Breathe out, let it go. You're safe here. You're allowed to rest. Nothing to fix, no one to impress. Just the soft fan in the background, the slow full of dreams, and quiet knowing that you're not alone. It's unlearned. And as you drift, remember this. The most valuable treasures aren't kept in banks or locked in safes. Sometimes they're tucked into empty wooden boxes, offered by strangers who ask the right question at just the right time. So sleep well tonight, light, free. And maybe tomorrow you'll walk a little slower. Not because you're lost, but because you're finally not in a rush to run away from yourself.